I'm not muted. I'm not muted.
Wow. Yeah, my computer.
I'm not muted.
Hello, and welcome to WayTooBroad, a show and tell program for really, really ridiculously excited grown-ups. I'm Hannah, and these are my co-hosts, Erin and Ben. Hi, Erin.
Hello, Hannah. Hi, Ben.
Hello.
Hi. And
no one else is here.
and no one else is here. So we're going to talk now. Just the three of us.
Works for me.
Oh, actually, there is someone else here. And Ben, why don't you introduce who's here and why?
It's Kylie.
Hello. Hi, Kylie.
And it's because she's cool.
Yeah, she's
Hi,
cool.
Erin.
What up?
Hi, Kylie. Sorry I tried to muscle you out of being our guest this week.
I get it. It's for the bit.
Welcome to the podcast, Kylie. Guest of the week.
Is this your third time on the podcast?
I think that's right. I know I was here for one of the Halloween episodes because I was the ghost advocate, and then I think I was on one.
I think you came with
yes.
with a book series that you liked or an author that you liked.
Yeah, I think that's true.
If memory serves.
But both of those were like 2019?
I think the ghost one was one of our first episodes. I think that might have been like
I'm gonna say 2017. Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
We lived in the apartment in Cleveland Circle, which was 20.
Why don't you say the whole address?
Are you trying to get doxxed?
Yeah.
It was 2017 because it was the year we got Como, and he's turning 4.
It was
March.
episode 9. Way Too Scared. The Great Ghosts versus Zombies Debate Special of 2017. It's actually in the title of the episode. That's really funny.
Wow. Okay. Wow. Okay. That was a while ago.
Yeah,
huh?
that really was.
Yeah.
We do that a lot, though. We were like, wasn't that just 3 episodes ago? And then it was like our second episode. So, you know.
Yeah. Someone's scratching on the door.
Is it Ian? You just let him in.
No, he can't. He knows he's not allowed in here right now.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Do you have your spray bottle ready?
Speaking of spray bottles, let's find out what everyone's drinking.
Oh, fuck.
What? You don't
I'm
have
going
a
to get some water.
We don't have anything.
Oh my god.
Kylie, answer
Kylie,
Can you get a drink?
Kylie, this is your third time on the podcast. You should know that you should have a drink by now.
I know. We were... I don't have an excuse.
I go
We got
first.
distracted.
I'm drinking water, and it's in a seltzer. What the fuck is this called? I don't even remember. Soda Stream bottle, but it's flat.
I knew it was Soda Stream, but I was big yawn. I was big yawning.
Oh, that's okay. You got to do that.
Yeah.
Oh my god! Earlier today, I had a yawn. I had a yawn in, sneeze out moment. It was really intense in both directions.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
Yeah.
I love it when
like
the
could tell-
functions intersect like that.
Yeah. I could feel that I was about to sneeze. Both of them were irresistible, so I just had to go for it. I also have some tea. It's a mint tea in my Florida mug.
Wow.
Man, it really looks extra phallic when separated out like that, doesn't it?
Florida.
Yeah.
Yep.
It looks like a flaccid, broken penis.
A jagged little penis.
And that is what it is.
Yeah.
So, that's correct. I think there might be some honey in there, too. It's cold. Ian made it for me.
Nice.
A while ago. Mint and ginger.
And that's the tea.
Mint and ginger
That's
tea.
the tea. And that's the tea.
And that's the tea that I'm having. And no honey. I'm so sorry. Yeah, I'm getting some corrections from the producer. It's got mint and ginger and no honey in it.
That's incredible. That's incredible. The person not drinking the tea has to clarify what's in the tea, and the person drinking the tea didn't know that.
Yeah.
And that's the tea.
Yep. It is. Who is...
I think me.
Erin.
Yeah.
Erin, what are you drinking?
Is that?
I also got the tea. Look at this nice, cozy, big mug of tea.
That's a nice mug.
Love it.
Is there like a little something on top of the handle to that mug?
Yeah, it's a little thumb rest here.
Ah!
Look at that.
Oh my goodness.
Ooh, where shall I put my weary thumb?
Seems more difficult to hold.
Yeah, a little bit,
with
but
your thumb.
more comfortable. More restful. Let's see. When I was a kid, I wanted to make a whole line of mugs called vacation mugs with like a padded thumb rest. And then the whole scene would be like some vacation scene. And then the handle would be like, so let's say the whole mug was like a beach scene. And then the handle would be like a towel with a little pillow. And it would be foam. And so you would just rest your thumb on that. Anyway, I didn't have a lot of friends. I'm kidding, I did. All right, let's see. But they were all adults. Okay, let's see. I have a Tazao chai.
Nice. That would be a nightmare to wash. Just thinking.
Well, that's what one of the adults in my life said. And I said, well, I would make it out of like a foam, like a water resistant foam that you could dishwasher. It'd be dishwasher safe, Hannah.
I can't argue with that.
So,
I mean, you know,
I thought
kid genuity.
I thought through these details. Okay, I'm not going to make a mug that's not dishwasher safe. That's not a vacation, Hannah.
You're right. That's on me, and I apologize for that.
Wait, so is the premise that you would bring these mugs with you?
No.
On vacation?
No, but like the mug.
No, it's just every time you use it, it's a little vacation.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ben gets it. Yeah,
because I was like, I'm not going to bring
No. But you might like this one so much that you want to. You know? Take it with you. It's just like, a vacation moment every time that you're having something in the mug.
I get it.
Incredible. Ben, what are you drinking?
I have ice water, and I also am cracking open a pineapple spindy.
Wow, he really is. There's the proof,
Kylie.
folks. Ooh.
Boom.
Nice.
Which I like but don't love.
It's so juicy, though.
Oh, is it your first time having it?
It's my second.
He said he likes it, but he doesn't love it before he took a sip of it. So how would that be his first time? Are you just going by the label?
Because the last time that I had it, I think neither of you had tried it yet. Do you remember that?
That's probably true. I haven't had it.
Was that 2017?
I didn't have it until... I didn't have it till Christmas because Mom put some in my stocking.
Oh, nice.
That's nice.
Yeah, we got Spindrifts in our
she
stocking.
just poured some in there.
Yeah.
It's a wet stocking.
Just, it out.
And I have the same problem with this one that I also have with the strawberry one, where I feel like sometimes it just tastes to me like an unripe version of the fruit.
Or a rotten one sometimes. I like both of those a lot, but they do like, there's something, I think it's actually the fact that it's real fruit juice rather than like a flavoring of that, which is much more common with both of those flavors. But like, yeah, sometimes it's like a little bit, it just doesn't taste quite right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Ian loves them. I really like them too, but they're not my favorite, I don't think.
Spindrifts is bad.
Whoa.
Speak to that.
Wow, hot take.
Kylie, they are a
real
sponsor probably someday.
Yeah,
They should.
We're not even going to be able to put the Spindrift Corner sound.
What's going on?
You can cut that.
No, tell us
I'm not
why.
cutting out your truth.
It's
Speak your truth.
It's bad. It's not just Spindrift. It's this whole, what is it called?
I'm just going to let you figure out.
Whoa.
It's bad.
Whoa, now you're talking seltzer.
Wait, water's bad?
No, water's fine.
Water's
but
fine?
seltzer water is bad. It tastes like when you go to a McDonald's and you're you order a medium. Well, just bear with me. And you order a medium Sprite, and you're really looking forward to this refreshing Sprite, and you get it, and it tastes like you know that they're at the bottom of their Sprite bag.
Well, that is seltzer.
It tastes wrong.
Well, that's because
yes. Seltzer tastes like when you're at the bottom of the Sprite bag at a McDonald's.
Palate.
And I
just have a couple. I have a couple of notes. I'm sorry. I'm just in a state of complete surprise and shock. Your palate's not adjusted, and number one, and number two, in that scenario, that's bad because like expectations are everything. But if you're expecting a seltzer, oh, so delicious.
Why would I want to expect that? It's so bad though.
It's refreshing. It's delicious.
It's so good. I respect your truth. Wow. It's just a lot right now, okay?
Well, it's hard at every Brown family gathering.
We love seltzer.
You guys only buy seltzer water.
I didn't know this.
So
I didn't know that.
I bring my own.
Next time you come over, I'm gonna go to McDonald's and get some Sprite and put it in the fridge just for you, okay? I'm gonna be like,
as long as it's not the bottom.
Yeah,
I'm
gonna be like, is that bag full in there? And if it's not, I'm gonna drive it all the way back and return it and exchange it for fresh and full bag. Sprite.
I can't get over the idea of describing Sprite as refreshing.
It's so
listen. I'm not
sugary,
as much of a soda
sticky
drinker
in my mouth
anymore.
I used to be a huge soda drinker, but I don't drink soda anymore because it tastes too syrupy now.
You should try
recalling.
I feel like
I'm recalling those days when it was refreshing to me.
I think there was a weaning process for me where my brain was expecting soda and it was seltzer and it was weird. But then once it started expecting seltzer, like a lemon lime seltzer gives me that like Sprite crisp feeling. Is all I'm saying. There could be an interesting journey for you. There could be an interesting journey for you.
I don't expect it to taste like soda, or I just expect it to be tasty, and it tastes like bad bubbles. I don't like it.
I'm not saying you, I'm saying your brain, your taste place. But anyway.
Is that my taste place?
Your brain, yeah.
Right?
Brain's your taste place. Anyway, I'm not here to do anything but, share with you my experience. But wow. That was a lot. So what are you drinking, Kylie? I know you're not drinking.
Just some good old flat water.
Nice.
Love flat water. Never say a bad thing about flat water.
It makes your body right.
Never say shit about flat
Makes your body right. You know what I mean?
Flat water.
It gets your body
makes
right.
your body
It does. It certainly does.
Yep. Indeed. Okay, up front, Steph, I have I have a question, a really important question for my co-hosts. Not to leave you out, Kylie, but I just don't think that you would be involved in this.
Kylie's a co-host today, excuse me.
My regular co-hosts, the ones that have access to our email inbox. Did either of you sign up for a site called pinkcupid.com?
No, I saw this last week, though.
No.
Ooh.
No.
I did too. It made me nervous because it seems to be a dating site. I think someone did use our email address to sign up for it.
Yeah.
But the only emails from it that are opened are ones that I've opened. And our email address is publicly available. Like, it's on our website and we advertise it. So someone might, I don't know why you would do this, but it seems like someone used our email address to sign up for a dating site.
Oh my God.
There's a lot of emails. I haven't clicked.
It also could be some sort of just automated thing or a bot scraped that bot scraped
I was just
the internet.
gonna say, yeah. If the email is just out there on the public website, it might have just been.
Yeah.
All of these matches are people in Quebec or northern Vermont.
Ooh,
Really?
A wide range.
I know all these
one
people.
One from Ottawa.
It seems to span from like 27 to 45 women.
Yeah.
They're all women. I think that it might be an all women dating site, but I'm basing that entirely on the name. It could also be like fully a scam. So I'm not clicking any links.
Unsubscribe. You can unsubscribe.
It just looks.
It's even like.
Unless you want to broaden your horizons. I mean.
Woo!
Could meet potential listeners.
One of these pictures of these people does not include her face.
Oh, and that's all you're going to say about it, huh?
Yep.
Yeah. I haven't found
just a pic of her chest.
Oh, wow.
Well.
Yeah. Yeah, this is definitely a gay dating site. I'm just opening it up and looking at some of the pictures of these folks.
So the thing is, I would say that it's just like, we get advertising emails all the time for things that none of us signed up for. But this one, we got emails that were like, hey, welcome, and here's your membership details and stuff like that, which is why I think someone like actively sent a sign up for it. And also the fact that we weren't getting emails from it, and then we were getting like a dozen emails in 2 days or whatever. So that's weird.
We must have a great profile. We've got a lot of matches.
We've got 8 new matches every fucking day. Like, pretty incredible stuff.
Wait, can we find ourselves on?
Yeah, the name is
We're getting
WayTooBroad.
passive matches?
The username says it's WayTooBroad.
Meet your lesbian match.
Okay, actually, I take it back. I don't think someone used our email address because the name that they're using is WayTooBroad. So they must have scraped us onto their site. Like, there's nobody would make their profile name WayTooBroad on purpose on a dating site.
Yeah, this was like
it's
a
not
spam.
a name.
I mean, this company seems to own 7 to 8 other dating sites, so I have a feeling that they could very well be automatically getting email addresses and enrolling people.
Yeah, this doesn't even look legitimate.
What is BBW?
Baby wife.
That's not what it is.
For plus size singles interested in serious dating. I liked baby wife.
Baby wife. I don't like baby wife.
Actually, maybe I don't like it. I didn't really think through.
Wow.
Okay, well, I guess Pink Cupid signed...
Baby wife.
Okay, well, that's a mystery solved, I think. Case closed on that.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I'm just gonna keep letting the matches roll in, I think. It's not hurting anybody.
Yeah. Let it be known, I did not sign up for a lesbian dating site using the WayTooBroad email address. None of us did. I promise. So, I realized I might have audibly gulped after I said that, but it's just from the teeth. That was it.
All right, let's see. What was our homework last week? Did any of us do it?
Did anybody listen?
This is a new segment.
Yeah, this is a new segment. Rip. I don't really have anything else to say after Rip. That's what the segment's called. It's called Rip.
Oh, I did listen to Lolita podcast, and I thought it was fascinating.
I did start it.
Wow, great job.
Did anyone listen to Jesse Where What's Your Pleasure?
No, not yet.
Oh, slaps.
I didn't really listen to music this week.
Me neither.
Wow.
I'm sorry. I'm going to listen to it. I really wasn't trying to put anyone on blast. I just was trying to make sure we followed up on things. All right.
Oh, I did watch Kiwami Japan videos too.
So fun.
Wow, I guess we all did a little homework, except for we didn't do Erin.
Sorry, Erin.
That's fine.
This segment is just called Burn Erin.
It's called Rip.
Rip
And we decide who rests in peace every time. And this time it's Erin.
It's called Rip.
Rip today.
That's fine. That album's just gonna be there. Bop, ready to bop when you are.
Bop, ready to bop when you are.
Bop, ready to bop when you bop. Okay, cool. Well, are there any other upfront things we wanted to talk about besides homework and dating sites?
Did we do Kylie's homework?
Kylie, what was your homework?
I don't know. What was my homework?
I don't know. I thought you had homework.
Didn't I have to have been on that previous episode?
Yeah, you were here last week.
No.
You were around.
Yeah, you were in the building.
You were like alive. So
Jesus, what did I say about throwing your phone on the ground?
wow, not good podcast material.
I'm new to this. I don't fucking have homework.
All right.
I thought third time was supposed to be the charm. Guess not. That's
right.
called Rip. That segment was Rip. Rip Kylie.
Rip Kylie.
Wait. Can I have an upfront thing that's really fast?
Yeah.
It's not actually like my obsession or anything, but I wanted to mention. I mentioned this in the in our family Slack, but there's a really cute game called What Remains of Edith Finch that I would highly recommend to people who are interested in like just a chill 2 hours of their life, because it's like a one sitting game that you can get on Steam for a really small amount of dollars, I think, and it's like a really lovely magical realism sort of walking simulator.
Is it creepy or not?
No, I actually didn't play the game for many years because I thought it was like a horror murder kind of thing, and it's not at all.
Oh,
not at all.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah, but
Looks
it's
pretty.
as like the elevator pitch. It's about a girl named Edith who's returning to her family home, and she's the last remaining family member of the Finch family, and their family is said to have a curse because every single person in it has died, and like dies at a young age. So, but not because of like a creepy murder mystery thing. It's just it's kind of like a Life is Strange kind of vibe. It's really nice, and it's only 2 hours. So if you're looking just for something kind of peaceful to do, it's nice to pick up.
Nice.
Sounds cool.
It's on the Switch.
I have one other question about it that is stream related, because Matt's stream that we are on, which Kylie was saying in the Slack, this might be a good game for that. He tries to have like a sort of family friendly vibe to it. Would you call it family friendly?
I guess there might be some lines that cross that, in that like it's about death. So, like I guess like that could be a little creepy, but it's not in like a horror kind of way. And there's nothing that's like that I can think of that is like disturbing. It's more just like kind of a storybook.
Cool.
So I would say generally, yeah.
Cool.
It's very
I will
tea for
suggest
teen.
it as Maybe I'll suggest it as a blind playthrough after we finish what we're doing. Which I should also mention as an upfront, because it's like an ongoing thing, so it'll still be true next week. We're doing co-op Stardew Valley right now. We're going to be doing it for I don't know how long. So Ian plays on our computer, and they run the farm together, and they have like the goals right now are Matt is doing something called the Real Life Challenge, which in Stardew Valley, it is you have to eat at least once a day, and you have to cook your food. So you either have to go buy cooked food, or you have to like have a kitchen and cook your food. You have to like either go get energy stuff from like the doctor's office when you get to like the red energy level, or you have to like immediately go to bed, and you have to like be in bed every night by 10 p.m. And it's much harder than it sounds, especially in co-op mode, because the time never stops moving when you're playing in co-op. So, and Ian is trying to start a brewery, so he's working on that at the same time.
Brewery.
That sounds lovely. I recently just started playing Stardew Valley again after the big 1.5 patch came out, because I hadn't played in like 4 years or something. So
Yeah, I want to see the new island. We haven't gone yet.
yeah, it's just such a lovely game.
Yeah. Okay, should we pop in then?
Let's pop.
Hannah,
right, what's your obsession?
Yeah, what is it, Hannah?
What's poppin'?
My obsession is a Netflix show that came out, I think, over Christmas break time, and apparently a lot of people...
Not many people have heard of it.
Yeah, nobody's really seen it. I think a lot. Most people who have seen it probably watched it between Christmas and New Year or around that time. I watched it last week, and it's already apparently been renewed for like 8 more seasons, and it's called Bridgerton. And Kylie watched it also recently, and we'll talk about that. But it's to describe it, because Ben, did you watch it too? So it's just Kylie and me that have seen it.
He shook his head. For the listener, he shook his head no.
We actually, Kylie and I both shook our head.
And Erin, you haven't seen it either?
I have not. See that verbal answer? Let you know how it's done.
But Molly has. Molly has. Right, Erin?
Yeah. Molly ripped through it.
So you've been like proxy exposed.
Well, not really. Like I saw that she had watched it, but I haven't really heard much about it.
Okay. They have a big house, so it's not like here where you can always hear what someone's watching.
That's true. That's fair.
So or she'll watch it with headphones on her iPad or something, you know.
Yeah. Even in our house, Ian didn't really hear any of it, but he heard about it from me for sure. So I watched a video about Bridgerton after I finished watching it, and I'm gonna send it to you guys later because we'll get into why. But she called the genre of it historical fantasy, and I think that's like really appropriate because it's like maybe technically you would call it a historical romance or a historical drama that takes place in the Regency era, but it's based on a set of novels that are completely fictional, and also the show doesn't really seem to feel any loyalty or necessity to being historically accurate. Like the costuming is not historically accurate. The rules are not historically accurate. Society rules. There are a lot of societal rules, but I don't think what I'm saying is I don't think anybody in the process of all this did a ton of research on the Regency era. And like, I'm kind of fine with that. Like normally that would bother me, but there's not really anything about it that is claiming to be accurate. You know, it's like a Shonda Rhimes show. Like, did people watch Grey's Anatomy and think that that's really how hospitals worked? I feel like maybe they did, but they shouldn't have. So there's that. It's got this like aesthetic that's very unique and more historical fantasy than historical fiction. It's the hell was I just gonna say? Shit. Oh, it's the casting is like colorblind. So the main male lead is a black man. The queen is a black woman. There are like just like supporting characters who are Asian that I noticed, and things like they just cast people. I thought that was really cool.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. And it's just like, to say that it's good.
This is gonna be my favorite part.
To say that it's good is not really. I don't think. It's entertaining. Is what it is. It's a very entertaining show. It's got a lot of flaws and is like somewhat more written like a. Like, it reminds me of watching shows on, like, the CW or whatever, like The Vampire Diaries, like that level of drama and realism. And there's some, like, well, I don't want to talk too much spoilers, but yeah, that's, like, my main thing. I watched it in the span of 2 days, as did, I think, Molly and Kylie, I think maybe almost that quickly.
Why did you watch it in the span of 2 days, Hannah?
It's a very cliffhangery show, so it's, like, 9 episodes, I think.
That's not why.
8.
Oh, because it's the rule?
It's the law.
It's the law? Is that what it said?
That's what Hannah said. Hannah got invited to do something, and she said, I have to, when you finish Bridgerton, you have to finish, when you start Bridgerton, you have to finish it within 2 days. It's the law.
Yeah. So I did that. I'm a law-abiding citizen, so I did do that.
Have you said yet? I've heard it has just a lot of sex in it. I heard it's basically like just like porn. Not just like porn. I haven't heard that. I've heard
Kylie's like, yeah, it's like porn.
It's porn. That's what I've heard.
The back half of it has a lot of sex in it. The first 6 episodes don't.
Am I right?
I honestly think that the first 5 to 6 episodes are actually good. I would say that they're pretty good. And then the fucking starts and it doesn't stop. It doesn't stop. It's like a train you get on and it never ends until the end of the season. And it's just sorry. I just had to jump in with that.
No, that's good. Kylie and I had a long discussion about this earlier today in Slack, and I feel like a lot of it we shouldn't probably get into here because it's very spoilery. But what I will say is that the writers really backed themselves into a corner with one of their main conflicts where the entire thing really centered around a thing that happens right at the end of sex. So they had to show full sex scenes every time this one couple fucked. They couldn't cut away.
Also, can I just say, not doing any spoilers, but sex is not like that. Yeah. For anybody.
Yeah.
3 seconds on a staircase isn't the best time of your life, my friends. I don't get it.
It's true. The sex scenes are all of them are both excruciatingly long and surprisingly short.
Also, it's not ooh anymore when you literally do it every 5 seconds.
Yeah.
There was an episode, this is not spoilers but there was an episode where it was truly it must have been at least 7 times. And I was I'm over it. I'm over it now.
Yeah. I know what episode you're talking about, yeah. It was
I mean, that sounds like a porn. CW level acting happens 7 times in an hour. Just saying.
Here's the thing though, is the pitch for this show, the elevator pitch for this show is a really common romance trope. And it's a good one. I'm a strong believer in there are really fun romance tropes that we can all enjoy even while recognizing it's a very commonly used trope. Mm-hmm. And this one is the beloved trope where there's 2 people that don't actually want to be together, but they're kind of forced to pretend to be together. Mm-hmm. And then they actually like each other.
I do like
That's
that
a
one.
Fun as hell trope,
That's fun.
right?
Yeah, that is fun.
So the elevator pitch, I was fuck yeah, I'll watch this super indulgent show. And I don't think there's anything wrong with there being sex sometimes, but there's a limit, and they reached it. They fully topped it off, but I do think that the elevator pitch for the show is fun. I think that's a fun little.
To be totally honest, the amount of sex in the show did not bother me. I mean. It honestly didn't bother me at all. But the thing that was frustrating was that it felt and Kylie, we talked about this a little earlier too, but the 2 main characters, the ones that Kylie was just talking about from the elevator pitch, they have I would say a fuck ton of chemistry, no pun intended. And they and they are they are great together, before there's any sex in the show. They're great together. They're great to watch on screen. They have great chemistry in every scene that they're in together. And when they do have these these brushes with feeling romantic with each other, they're non-sexual ones. They're I found them very affecting. There's this one scene where their hands brush each other in a gallery, and you know how that is, especially with stuff of that era where everything was so proper. That's it just sometimes it can make your hair stand on end if it's done well, they did a really good job with all of that, I think. And then it was like they resolved some things too early in the season, in our opinion, and they
blew their load.
They blew their load too early. And then they had to they had to manufacture a bunch of additional conflicts for the end of the season, and they felt shoehorned in ways that were not consistent for the characters. So it was very frustrating. Kylie was frustrated with all the sex. She doesn't like sex. I was frustrated with all of the inconsistent characterization.
I just think there could have been some talk. Yeah, like, I'm fine with the sex. It's just like, could you talk sometimes? Like, Hannah, you just said it. Like, in the beginning, they have such good banter.
I know.
And then it's like, no. If your hand touches my shoulder, I'm on it. Like, it doesn't stop. So it was just like,
yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
He couldn't hear me, but I was like yelling, like, can you just put your clothes on and move on to the next scene?
Excuse me, I've reached my limit. Can you?
I get it. Yeah.
Your neighbors were like, the old lady upstairs is watching Bridgerton again. She doesn't like all this sex scene. Do you know if the like conflict thing or the weird plot things are sins of the show or sins of the book? Because these are based off a book.
I don't know that.
I don't know either, but I didn't realize it was a book series at first. And after, when I I was totally judging books by their cover. Right. But I feel like the books could very well be like those sort of very self-indulgent romance books that could easily have these plot lines. Like
actual romance novels? I almost got this.
Yeah.
Oh, that would explain a lot, actually, about the amount of sex.
Yeah. Yeah, romance novels are dope.
They look like books that would have a lot of sex, but probably that was drawn out a little bit better. Is all I'm saying.
Yeah.
They do look like they could be romance novels.
Exactly.
Yeah, historical romance novels. Wow, that makes so much sense.
Yeah. I also think that the one thing about the show, Hannah, maybe you'll probably talk about it, but I wanted to bring it up, was I think that, like, one of the things I really liked about it that kept me, like, into watching it for the first few episodes was the music and, like, generally the costume design, because I think it was, like, they just, like, took their own liberties and had so much fun with it. Like, the queen has, like, this massive pink wig sometimes. She came into one ball with this, like, huge afro. It was, like, it was awesome. Yeah. And, like, they'll have ballroom dances, like, formal socialite ballroom dances to, like, this orchestral music that'll sound really familiar, and you realize it's, like, Billie Eilish, or, like, they take modern music and put it in this, like, 1812, I don't know, symphony. It's really cool.
It's really cool. And the artist for that, Molly filled us in on, and I already forgot their name, so I'm looking.
The Vitamin String Quartet.
Aha. Thank you.
Yeah.
They're very good. Yeah, the music is really cool. Like, go ahead.
I just, like, not to be extremely on brand, but I wish it were just, like, a little gay, because I would watch it. But I have, like, no interest in watching it, because it's, like, completely straight, and I've been told that. But if it was, like, I know that there's, like, a blink of a gay moment, that's not enough. That's not what I mean. I don't mean, like, 3 seconds of gay material. I'm talking about, like, you know, a subplot.
There was this moment in the first episode where I thought there might be a main, like, lesbian romance.
I did too.
Right? And then it just didn't happen at all. They were just, like, best friends. And I was like, fuck!
I'm just saying.
I had the exact same moment with those two. I was like, yay!
I'm just saying, in a show full of, like, historical inaccuracies and, like, liberties taken and sex and, like, drama, why not just, like, throw a fucking gay couple in there? Okay?
Well, this is a spoiler, but it's not that big of a spoiler because they're not important characters, which is kind of your point. Well, they're not important in this season, but there is a gay couple, but they're, like, a gay man and a lesbian who are married to be each other's, like, beard and dress or whatever. What's the other thing?
Is she a lesbian? I think she's
bi. She's at least bi.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think if like the thing about the show is I kind of wish they leaned in hard on the not caring about any historical accuracy. Why even if you're not going to care about it, like hell yeah, then make being gay completely accepted.
Yeah.
And also the thing I really did not like is I love that it was colorblind casting, and I love that for the most part no one brought it up until there was one scene where they brought it up, and for no reason. And I don't really consider this a spoiler because it's basically not relevant for the entire show, is they were like, we were a separated society by color until the king married the queen who's black. And then that solved it, and now they all get to be dukes.
Oh, that's weird. So wait, it wasn't just like a stylistic
it doesn't make
choice,
any
it's
sense
like
because
canonic.
Well, it was until then. It was never a thing at all. Like it seemed like they just like they were pretending that racism just didn't exist in this society completely. And then there was that one line tossed in out of no, like I actually missed it. I heard like the tail end and I was like, did they just say something about slavery? That's so weird. And then I just kind of like kept watching. There's probably another sex scene, so I was distracted.
I wish they didn't, because not only does it like undermine how cool it was that like it was a kind of fantasy bubble where we could pretend racism didn't exist, like within that world. But then they brought it up, and it also doesn't make any sense because racism doesn't disappear when a king gets married to a black wife, and there aren't suddenly super rich black people within the lifespan of that marriage. Like, it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, that are like nobility.
Yeah, it was worse. I was like, why did you include that line?
The main black lead a duke?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's a second generation at least duke, because his dad was also a duke.
Yes.
So it doesn't make sense.
Yeah, it felt like they put it in there for emotional strife, and I was like, why can't you just let people have that? I don't know.
Yeah, it's like if it's gonna be like so have it be like there's no such thing as racism and there's no such thing as homophobia, but the culture has a lot of other weird hang-ups that are based on history. Like,
well, the thing is they couldn't make it not have sexism, because then all of the fun sexual tension would be gone, because what's the point if women know what cum is?
No. That's like the main...
it's hard.
How many scenes were about them being like, how are children made?
Yeah. It's hard when you're picking and choosing what historical accuracy to care about, I guess. But it's like, it's what's in service of the story. But then I don't think they did a very good job choosing, because like they did not need that line about the king marrying the queen or any of that stuff. Like, that was really the only one. Like, that was the only time it was ever mentioned. It was just like very weird.
Yeah, they never brought it up again.
But
weird.
Yeah, so it was weird. Some things about it were weird. Some characterizations were very inconsistent. The costumes, as I said, they were really fun. They were really not accurate at all to the era. And also another interesting thing that I learned from this video that I'm gonna send to you guys to watch at your leisure was that so one of the main things in the story of this season is that, the women need places to run into each other out in society. So there's like the parties and stuff, but they're also always running into each other at this dress shop because they are always getting new dresses. Because in this version of the Regency era, no one ever wears the same dress twice. That's simply not done in high society. But that's like not at all accurate. Like, actually most like fancy women, their clothes would fit all of their everything that they wore to dress, including like undergarments and their shoes and their hats and everything would all fit into like one kind of like trunk. This is actually my boss was telling me, it's not from this video, but apparently that's the reason why a lot of old houses, like really old houses, don't have enough storage, is because people just didn't used to have as many things, especially like bedroom closets. They didn't need them because like all their clothes, they would make them by hand, or they would get some new clothes like once a year or so, but they would do a lot of, they were all like, built so that they were easy to, adjust. Like if you gained some weight or you lost some weight, or you got pregnant and then had a baby, like you could just adjust the way that the clothes that you had fit, and they would just keep fitting you perfectly. So they really didn't have many dresses at all. Like they wouldn't have been spending a lot of time in the dress shop at all. But there was no way to write the plot the way they did without having them at the dress shop all the time. So, like, I'm fine with it.
Think about how cool it would have been if there was some cool, like, gender bending in that show. Like, dudes in dresses or, like, ladies in bomb-ass suits and stuff. Man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I feel like watching this made me just want, like, a much better, like, free-for-all medieval plot.
Yeah.
That was just, like... Fuck it.
I
don't know, like King Queen plot.
We're ready for it. I'm disappointed in them. Like, we just keep serving this, like, heteronormative, patriarchal, like plot. Like, let's fuck it up a little bit, y'all.
Let's fuck it up a little bit. 2021.
Yeah. We're ready.
2021. Big dog.
Big dog
20
run.
big dog run.
20 big dog run. Ain't no bones about it.
Is that Bim Bam?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Ow! What the fuck? I got a
Did
blood
you bite?
blister in my mouth.
Oh, God.
Hannah, what would you rate Bridgerton out of 10 overall?
Sex.
Sex out of 10.
I would rate it a 7. That's 6 for sex and 1 for chemistry. Hold on, I gotta look at my lip.
Kylie was like, before record, she's like, you should ask him if it's okay if I come on. And now you see, this is the kind of shit we do. Just pause the podcast to stare at our lips and our phone.
You're always welcome.
I get it now.
It's not a formal operation.
I had to read the room.
When he says pause, that all is going to be in the final cut. He doesn't mean, like, literally pause. Like, that's... Everyone's going to hear her looking at her lip.
It depends on how much attention I'm paying when I'm editing, honestly. It just depends.
I frequently hear myself say, please cut this out in the final edit of the podcast. Or, like, I wouldn't want to say this on pod, but... And then the thing I wouldn't want to say on pod, in the pod, when I'm listening to it with Molly on Sunday morning.
I mean, that's a lesson for you about how to actually be off the record. You have to wait till the recording stopped.
Yep.
I'm just kidding. I've cut things out that you asked me to cut out before.
You have.
Sometimes you're
it's
not serious.
It's not a hundo.
Yeah.
So based on how serious Hannah thinks I am about it.
Huh?
Anyway, good show.
Yeah.
Well, maybe not a good show.
Fun show. I rated 7. Kylie, what's your rating? Kylie, you haven't finished it yet, right?
No, I finished it. I made myself get through the last 2 episodes, which I hated.
Wow.
Hated all of the last 2 episodes.
Really? Okay.
Like a 5.
Okay.
But
Wow, you were so
That's
into
pretty
it. Like,
good.
I think,
yesterday.
if I could, like, give it, but the only reason, like, the positives are 100% the costume design and the music, and, like, the first few episodes, and I think there's some fun characters there. Like, they have fun family dynamics and stuff, but, like, and also the fact that the casting, I really, like, the queen is fucking bombastic. I love her. That actress is great. So the first few episodes, I think, are awesome, and, like, they're really fun to watch. But I think it dwindles pretty hard, and it brought it down from, like, a 7 to me to a 5.
Okay. I'm going to for sure watch the next season. I feel like this is also the kind of show that has the potential to really fall apart in subsequent seasons, or to, like, find its footing and be cool. Or maybe, like, if enough people give them the note of, like, why are you tethering yourself to historical accuracy in some ways and not others? It's weird. Maybe they'll introduce some characters that have some of these fun gender-bending characteristics or things like that.
I guess it depends on how true to the books they need to be, or whatever.
I'm definitely not going to read the books.
Yeah, I'm not going to read the books. I'm also not going to watch the second season. I'm totally done with it, but I had a fun ride. as did Daphne.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's funny for me.
I don't really understand that reference. Will you kind of explain what you mean by that? I'm kidding.
So, it's the sex in the show.
Woo.
She fucked.
I fucked it. Yeah. It's, I don't know. It's just fun. It's not perfect at all. I do agree. I'd like something better, but I'm going to keep watching it.
It's a romp.
It's a romp.
As Aunt Brown says.
Yes. Erin, what's your obsesh?
What up? Okay, I got two that kind of go together.
Okay.
Well, they don't quite go together, but you'll see. So my first one is I'd like to start by describing my New Year's intention, which has been going really well, which is reading 2 books a week, a fiction book and a nonfiction book. I did a soft launch of this New Year's intention 2 weeks before the New Year, so I've been about a month now. And so that's been pretty great. But that's not my obsession. That's kind of just like something that's going on. But my obsession is baths. I've been
wow.
Yeah, I've been really taking baths, you guys. like what I really wanted to do most tonight in the whole world was take a bath, but I couldn't. Like when we were going to originally record at 9 and then at 8:30, Hannah was like, can we do 9:30 instead? And I was like, oh shit, do I have time to take a bath? So, and when I say bath, like, I'm not a big, like, I don't like to shower all that much. I'm maybe like a 2-day-a-week kind of like body washer. But I'm talking about like a hot bath, like draw a hot bath and take a soak, put on some jazz, and read a book for an hour in the bathtub. Like, that's what I'm talking about. Which is why I bring up my New Year's intention of reading 2 books every week. One of the reasons that has been really successful is because, like, I've been craving these baths. I'm, like, cold, and it's, like, winter, and, like, muscles are sore, and, like, I'm, like, ugh. But I'm, like, drawing a hot bath, making a cup of tea, lighting a candle, putting on some jazz, and then I'm in the bath for an hour, and you can't get distracted on your phone because you're in water, and so I'm just, like, reading without a distraction and without a care in the world. And it's been really great, and I've just been really loving it. And if you have a bathtub, I just can't recommend it. Number 1, clean the bathtub. Number 2, draw a bath, get in it, and just grab a book and have a great time. That's what I have to say. I've really been
Can I ask you some questions about your bath ritual? Because I have never understood baths, and I tried like last year because we had a nice bathtub when we were in California. Yeah. I was like, I'm gonna try a motherfucking bath.
Yeah,
and I felt so uncomfortable.
What about it?
Like, well, here's the thing. I love hot tubs. So when we lived in an apartment that had a hot tub, I did what you're describing. I would go out there for hours and read a book in the hot tub.
Hell yeah!
But the bath doesn't hit it for me because I feel cramped and I feel naked because I am naked.
Yeah.
And I feel like I'm in not as hot of what I want to be like scalding.
Yeah.
Like, and I just don't feel like it lasts that long. And so then I feel like I'm just getting all wrinkly naked in a cramped old tub next to the toilet.
Yeah.
And I just don't feel it as much, and I want to. A
few things. I mean, if the naked thing is really bothering you, throw a bathing suit on next time and see if that helps. But that doesn't bother me. Also, our bathtub is not by the toilet, which also helps. But I have enjoyed bathtubs by the toilet. I have. I'm not a huge, and this is really relatively new phenomenon. I have enjoyed some baths when I've been sick before. For sure, but like, I just like was craving a bath a couple weeks ago, and I took one, and then like 2 days later, I was like getting ready for bed, and I was like looking at the tub, I was like, damn, like I want a bath again. I was like, can I take a bath so soon after my last bath? And so I phoned a friend. I phoned some friends, both. Molly and my best friend, and they were both like, yeah, girl, get it. Get that. So I took another one, and guess what? It was great. So I also make it very hot. Like, what I do is I run exclusively the hot water until it runs out, and then it starts pouring some, like, warm water. And so then it's like burns my skin a little bit. So it starts out very, very hot. And then, I don't know, maybe our tub is big enough where I'll get hot. I go through a whole thing where it's like hot and then and relaxing. And then I get warm and I have to like sit up more. And then I kind of cool down as the water's cooling down. So I can like make it last for a while. So I don't know. I feel like, pick a day if you wanted to dabble, pick a day where you're feeling cold. Like you're cold, maybe rinse out your tub in advance of this and just try like putting the hottest water you can in there. Just exclusively hot water and then see what happens. See if you can make some magic.
Yeah, make the magic happen.
In the bathtub, yeah.
That's good advice.
Yeah,
I feel like maybe
in
also,
the bathing suit thing, if it's distracting.
There's like it's funny because you were like, I light a nice relaxing candle, I put on some jazz. Like, that's like what people do in the movies when they take a bath, and I didn't even know that was like a thing people really do. But it probably helps a lot with like keeping you relaxed even as your bath starts to kind of cool down. Yeah. Like give it more of an atmosphere. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
The heat from the candle helps keep things warm.
Yeah, the candle probably. Do you put it under the tub, the candle?
Yeah.
Like like those food trays at buffets.
Yep.
Like a really slow roasting soup.
Yep.
Oh, you could do
low and slow.
Yeah, maybe you could find like a really big like cauldron and just build a fire and then you could put water in there and then it would stay warm.
Yeah.
If you got
it's also kind of a highly unusual thing because I have very, very, very dry skin, and one of the reasons why I don't really like to bathe all that often is because my skin gets so dry when I put water on it. So I've been putting like a scoop or two of coconut oil in the bath. That's been really nice. But yeah, it's inexplicable. Honestly, I don't know. I don't really have any explanation for it other than it's relaxing as fuck. And I'm like, maybe I'll take a bath after this. I make no,
do it.
I have some catching up to do on my reading, so, wow.
I was going to ask you about that, too, because I thought that was such a cool New Year's resolution, but I was curious, like, for your approach for maintaining it, because that's a lot in a week. So do you have to, like, limit the size of the books, like the way that do you have to like set aside a lot of time for it? What's your strat?
Yeah, I have a couple strats. So the impetus for it's a solution to a problem, which is that I am always in a state of like I want to read and I just don't, or like I have these books that I want to read and I just don't, especially with the nonfiction ones, but also with the fiction ones. And so I just like feel so frustrated by that, and so this is kind of a tool to be like, if I want to do it, and I'm like, I'm just going to do it. I can do it because I have this thing in place where I'm doing it. So my strat is that I have an index card in each book, and before I start it, I do some division on the page numbers, and I break it out by day. So it's like, I can know like on Thursday I need to be, page whatever of this book and page whatever of this book. Although I don't do it linearly. And also I've been like reading ahead. So like I'll get some time, and I find with just an hour a night, I can get most of my reading done. But I don't always have that, so I can like catch up on the weekend or something. But my strat has been to break it up and also to just like get ahead. So if at all possible, like finish the book early and then start the next week, so that I always have like, I'm always kind of ahead of myself. So I always have a little bit of buffer. So I don't know.
Do you do like a mix of like audio books with regular books, or what's your poison?
So far I'm just gonna be like, I might include audiobooks, but it's just just physical books or like ebooks so far, because I also read a lot faster than audiobooks can do. So my eyes be faster than my ears. So
yeah, speed of light.
Amen.
You know how it is.
Speed of light is faster than the speed of sound, so that makes sense, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah,
No?
baby. That's science right now.
A lot faster.
Yeah.
So that's probably why.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that sounds very relaxing.
But yeah, not picking. And if I want to read a long book, I'll give myself 2 weeks. Like, I don't give a fuck. It's my thing. I
love it.
It's my fucking thing. Nobody,
you own it.
Nobody can tell me. And if I miss out on a week because I'm having a hard week, that's cool. I read something, and I'll just try again next week.
I like it.
Those are my strats. And bath. Honestly, the bath is the strat. Because I can't just be like, oh, whoops, someone texted me and now I'm on my phone for, oh, God, it's YouTube, and it's 3 hours later. You know how it be.
Yeah.
You can't do that in the bath.
Erin, I have a question.
Knock, knock, it's YouTube.
That's how YouTube always is. Like,
yeah. You're just like, what have I been watching for the last 3 hours?
Erin, I have a question. Why do you call it your New Year's intention?
Because I don't really like resolution, because it's like Molly and I, this is kind of Molly's thing. Molly doesn't make weekend plans. She makes weekend intentions because like the whole thing about a weekend is like it shouldn't have plans. But you might have it like, oh, I might want to do this. Like my intention is to, clean the fridge. But if I don't want to clean the fridge, like then fuck you, because it's my weekend and I don't have to. So it's kind of in that same mentality of like, I'm not making a resolution or a promise. It's like that this is like what I want for the year, not like what I'm like stating I'm going to do for the year. I don't know, it's a little softer. It's a little more like, my thing, and not for, it's not for you,
And if you wanted to do like resolutions but more demanding, they could be like New Year's. Wait, what the fuck was I about to say?
New Year's requirements.
New Year's mandates.
That's a good one.
New Year's
directives.
I guess requirements was
New
bad.
Year's directives. That's what I was going to say.
Yeah.
Yours were all better than mine, or at least as good. So
wow, but we never knew what you were gonna say.
Directives.
We never will.
I was thinking about the Prime Directive, but that's different.
Star Trek.
Yeah, I was thinking about Star Trek, as I often do, sometimes against my will. Anyway, cool. That is a lovely sounding obsession. Congratulations.
Yeah. So if you need to put this in the topic index, I guess it would be reading 2 books a week in the bathtub.
Okay.
I love it.
Cool. That's a good summarization.
Having a hot soak and a good read.
Ben and Kylie, or just Kylie? Who are we popping into now?
Just Kylie.
Okay.
Just Kylie. What's your obsession?
Kylie has been on vacation all week.
Hell yes.
I have been working one of the busier weeks of my work ever.
Oh God.
So I don't
swapped roles.
Yeah, so I don't have an obsession because I've been working late every night and haven't been doing anything.
Ew.
Kylie, though,
she's been a woman of leisure.
Take it away.
I've developed such a nice routine.
Kylie has such different vacations than I do. I was on vacation for 2 weeks or like a week and a half for the Christmas/New Year's, and I did nothing. I just sat on the couch and fucking chilled out, which is like,
hell yeah.
That's vacation.
Hell yeah.
Kylie is like, I feel like you take vacation to like
live my life, to be alive,
to be productive with things that you don't have time to do because you work so much.
Yeah. Yeah. I actually have been eating breakfast, which is like, whoa. I had this routine of eating breakfast and reading in the morning, which is so lovely, and I'm going to be so sad that it's going to be over. And working out. I was working out every day.
Hell
I was
yeah.
like, what is this healthy lifestyle that I have to give up in a matter of days?
Wow.
Yeah, it's been awesome. But one of the things that I've also had time to do, because I've been on vacation, is actually start working on sort of like a personal game project that I've been wanting to do for a while. So, yeah, it's something that I've been I kind of keep in my head a lot, but I've also done taken a lot of notes and written down a lot of ideas for. But it can be kind of hard to get started working on a game because it can be overwhelming to be like, where do I start? But I finally had time this week, so I've been like thinking about it a lot and doing art for it, and then finally like getting down and doing some development. So I think generally the obsession has been like working on kind of a personal game, but also generally like familiarizing myself again with Unity because it's been a while since I used Unity. So for folks that don't know what Unity is, it's a game engine that is free to use. So it like Unreal Engine or something, Unity is just like very developer friendly. So I used it at work when I was an intern, and before that when I was like dallying in game dev stuff. And yeah, I really, really like it a lot. So I've been using that to work on my game.
Hollow Knight was made in Unity.
Hollow Knight was made in Unity. And Ori and the Blind Forest was made in Unity.
Can you talk to me about like what specifically a game engine is? Like how does that help you make games? What it do?
Yeah, so like I can speak to Unity specifically. So typically a lot of like pre-built game engines will provide like a built-in physics system, a means of like rendering 2D or 3D graphics.
Cool.
Like they usually just have all of the like building blocks for making a game. So like allowing you to have animations and things like that. Like they won't make that for you, but they'll give you the means to put that in a game.
Cool.
So they just make it easier for you. A lot of like companies will build their own game engines from scratch. So like they'll have their own specific like Hades, Supergiant Games, all of their games which are very special and cool, they have their own game engine. So yeah, so Unity is just one of those, and it's notoriously really, really good for beginners and like actual professionals because it's really easy to learn because they have like award-winning tutorials. They're really, really, really good at like teaching people how to use Unity, and they have a bunch of free assets. So like if you're like, I don't do art and I want to make a game, you can just like download free characters and stuff like that to use, which is really nice.
Cool.
So yeah, it's been a lot of fun, and I think Unity is just a really cool tool for people who are interested in that kind of thing anyway. So
yeah, that's awesome. Can you tell us anything about your game?
Yeah, I was gonna ask the same thing.
Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of doing two things at once. I'm trying to like learn a lot while making sort of an initial kind of just like iteration, do you know what I mean? So I think one of the blockers for me was thinking that when I sit down, I need to like start working on the final version of what I'm picturing in my head, which is just not how game development works anyway, especially when you're a single person. So I kind of gotten past that, and I'm looking at it more as like, this is a learning experience for me and also a way for me to get started just like implementing a lot of ideas I have. So what I'm working on right now is, I was kind of going back and forth about 2D and 3D, but right now it's going to be a 2D game. And I don't know, I'm very inspired by the likes of Hollow Knight and games like that. So I have a lot of ideas for it, but more with like incorporating things like more RPG elements and choice. So, which is what everyone says they want to incorporate in a game, but is very hard to do. So, yeah, I don't have anything like a story that's super concrete. I have ideas, but they're very scattered. So it would feel kind of silly to list them out, but. It's been a fun like learning experiment, and also like it helps me go to sleep to think about a bunch of things and then just like write them down in the morning. So
I love that. That sounds so fun, and it makes me want to like poke around with Unity.
You should. I would suggest to anyone who's interested. They have the first thing I did in Unity is their Rollerball tutorial, which they recently refreshed this year. And it's just like all these tutorials that they provide, you can then like, once you finish, make your own. You can be like, here's the thing I built, and now I can make it, I give it like 5 new levels. That's what I did with it. And it's so fun.
Is that in learning under learners? Mm-hmm. For learners.
Yeah, I can send you the link. They have tutorials for like 3D, 2D, everything. They're super, super great.
Cool.
So
this is fun. We do every Friday afternoon at work, we do playground time where you can learn anything you want to, and I feel like this is going to be a great project for that.
Yeah, that's so nice that you get that.
Yeah,
this would be perfect for that. And I know, like, so I think Unity is a bit special in that Unreal Engine, I don't believe is free. And I don't think it's as, like, user-friendly or beginner-friendly has been my understanding of it. So, and it's, with Unity, the typical programming language is C#, which is very easy to pick up. So, if you've coded,
is
like,
Unity
Java.
available on Mac and everything, too?
Unity?
Yeah.
Yes, I believe so.
Cool.
Yeah. Yeah. So super fun. Would recommend it to people interested. I think it's also cool because like if you like making music or making art or just like any of those different things, you can do them all here. So it's like a nice way to combine, like making maps. Even like that's just a fun thing that is part of the game dev process.
But if there's something that you're like, I would like to draw this thing, but I don't have it right now. You could like toss in one of their free assets and then switch it out later.
Yeah. That's one of the things that they're like, that's really nice is you can just like take what they have. Another thing, because that blocked me for a while, is I was like, I have to draw everything first, which I just don't. It's so easy to like, the first time I made a game in Unity or like part of a game, I opened a free pixel art tool that was like a browser tool that I just like made a bunch of shitty pixel art in that took like 5 minutes for each sprite and just loaded that in the game. And it worked so well, and it was just like so fast. So it's so much easier to experiment, even if you don't have like an iPad or a tablet or anything like that. You can just like make some pixel art and throw it in there.
Do you need to have a strong computer if you're doing?
No, because I did it on my little baby MacBook Pro from 2013.
Cool.
So should be fine.
Sweet.
I mean, that was like a small game that I made, but
You got that in 2013?
I think so. Yeah, it's been around for a while.
That's so dope.
That's so neat.
I feel inspired.
Yeah, I would also say I can drop the links, but I think part of what has been like really cool about this process is I tend to be like, even though it's intimidating to get started, I tend to be inspired by like other artists and developers. So I've been watching a lot of like videos of like the maker of Stardew Valley, how he did what he did, because that is a very unique thing that he did.
Is that he made that in Unity?
No, he didn't, but he did that entirely himself, which is like kind of unheard of. Like every part of that game, music entirely himself over the course of many years. Yeah, he's extremely inspiring. And then just like that, the Hollow Knight, how it was made. Been watching like videos of just like generally some cool game dev tricks and things that they do, which I just always find super fascinating because it's just very interesting to me. But that kind of stuff can be very inspiring to like make you just sit down and try it, because otherwise you'll be like, I can't do all of this. But like, I don't know how to make music, so I'll have to figure that out. But it's also kind of a fun way to like talk to people who know how to do those things and be like, hey, do you want to do this cool project with me? So
that's awesome.
I'll
pitch in some music for your game, Kylie.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, I'll be playtester for you when you need that.
Yeah.
Sounds good. I'm so far from that, you guys.
That's awesome.
But I appreciate it.
We have this saying at work, I don't remember where it comes from, but that we like tell ourselves, but it's draw an ugly horse, which is basically just like get something on the page, you know, even if it's terrible and ugly, just so you can start to iterate. But
that is like, I think, one of the most valuable lessons to learn in all parts of your life as an adult.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Like when I'm drawing or when I'm programming, like that applies.
Yep. Don't let yourself get intimidated by. It's really hard though. It can be so hard.
Yeah, it can be super hard. But I always just think of it as like sculpting. Like when you're sculpting something, it's mad ugly at first, just like a stump with something. But then you get to shape it into something sexy.
It was a stump with something, and now it's sexy.
Draw an ugly horse.
It's
folks.
like, I think it's good advice for so many areas of life.
Yeah. Somebody probably, I'm not giving credit to the right person, but whatever. Google it, or I don't even know if it's from something.
Well, you're not giving credit to any person, so I feel like that's fine. You just said you You heard it at work.
We say it at work.
Yeah.
Your job sounds so healthy, Erin. What's that like?
Our company is only 7 people, so it's easy.
Oh, wow.
To, I don't know. You
That's
limit
lovely.
the variables. Listen, I don't mean to wrap us up, but
Yeah.
We have to end this.
I'm thinking about getting in the bath. So
Okay. My homework.
Erin has a bath to get
I have
to.
a bath to draw.
My homework is if you think
You say draw a bath.
you're not drawing
You
it.
want to do this now?
I'm just saying, think about it.
You're not, Erin. You're not drawing a picture of the bath before you get in it.
Maybe I should
I think you're supposed to.
draw an ugly bath.
That's the episode title right there.
Draw an ugly bath. Okay, homework. Let's do homework. My homework is watch Bridgerton if you want to. I feel like you probably already have because everybody did before me. But just watch it if it didn't sound too annoying from all of the discussion we had about it. And my Twitter is Anthropology. My Instagram is Anthropology. My TikTok is Hannah and her cats. I haven't posted any more of my like speed water drawing things on TikTok, but I have the necessary supplies now. My other book came in, so I will be when I feel like it. I have an intention to do more of them.
There you go.
Yeah. Erin, what's your homework?
My homework is to find your bath. It might not be a bath, but find whatever makes you be like, hell yeah. See you in an hour. Peacing out and having some me time. So, and also if you want to read, then read some books. That's great. But only if you want to. You know what I mean? Cool. I don't have any social media. You can go to lesbianlendinglibrary.com or queerworksmap.com or probably earnburn.com. I think I let that. You can go to earnburn.com. Okay, goodbye.
Kylie, what's your homework?
My homework is to download Unity and try a tutorial for fun. And also to play What Remains of Edith Finch on Steam.
Oh, nice, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Ben, do either of you have social medias you want to share, or Twitch or anything?
Nicely Proved Ben is my Twitter. My Twitch.tv channel is Disco Greg. Did you want to say something, Kylie?
Your mouth? Is your mouth shut?
I'm all good. Is my mouth shut?
You gotta get right up if you want to.
I'm good.
All right, cool. For the podcast, if you want to call us and leave us a voicemail or text us, we have a number you can do that at. It's 774-326-0420.
Blaze it!
Blaze it!
Blaze it. But don't dial blaze it. You can find us on Twitter at TwoBroadPod. You can find us on Instagram at WayTooBroad. You can email us, ladies, at WayTooBroad@gmail.com.
Nice! She's been waiting!
You can find any of the contact information that you missed or links or whatever at our website, WayTooBroad.com, for anything you want. earnband.com for anything you need, maxfun.org for a sweet dog on a boat, and absolutely nothing else. And don't forget to leave us a review on Apple Podcasts or wherever you're listening. You can't do that. Why do I have... Apple Podcasts. Yeah, you can. Sorry. I skipped that bullet a lot. And that's it. So do we have 2 podcast candles today?
Yep. Yes.
The podcast candles are... extinguished.
They are. Can't confirm.
Bye.
Where's your podcast candle?
He doesn't do it. He's not responsible enough for a podcast candle. I say that. Erin is the one who actually set off a fire alarm during our recording session.